What's up everyone, raiyamo here back with another anime review on Grand Blue Fantasy episode 12. Yes, this is the finale, and what a finale it was. This final episode, technically, was just great. I really liked how the A1 Pictures, the animation team really went and brought out the vibrant fantasy colors and just the entire palette of the entire, Grand Blue Fantasy animation we've seen so far. And yeah, I was deeply impressed with how fluid the animations were and how amazingly dazzling the colors were. With the different effects and explosions and all that. That was a really good touch. And yes, this does conclude Grand Blue Fantasy the animation. Much to my dismay, I was really hoping when this was first announced that it would probably be around 20, maybe 30, 40 episodes, because there is a ton of content coming from someone who plays the game. I'm not even that far yet, in the main storyline of the game. I don't really have much time to play it, but there are tons of side events that are relevant towards the plot, tons of character events, and then you got the main plot line that's like around 144, probably even more chapters. I haven't really checked up on how many main storyline chapters they are, but they're pretty lengthy. But yeah, I'm like really sad to see Grand Blue Fantasy go. It might not have been a favorite to many people because of its slow pacing and because of how its storytelling was presented. But because I'm such a big fan of JRPGs and fantasy stuff in general, and seeing how this entire anime basically checked off a lot of things for me, I really did enjoy it, even though it started off a bit slow. And then it wrapped in its entire fantasy-esque style of storytelling and its presentation, the music and all that really drew me into the series. A lot of people who are naysayers who were saying, yeah, it isn't that great of a thing. I prefer, Rage of Bahamut, which is another anime by Cygames. Basically, this animation studios are contracted by the parent company, that's Cygames, who owns the property rights to Grand Blue and Rage of Bahamut. I do believe that Grand Blue and Rage of Bahamut are games. Yeah, Rage of Bahamut is a game, and they're simply adapting. I don't know if it's an anime original story or parts of the story from the game. I don't really know. I don't really play Rage of Bahamut. There is no English version, so I'm not too particularly interested in it. And I haven't even seen the first season, so there's that. But I'm really, hoping that we'll get another season of Grand Blue Fantasy the animation. I really do think of all the cash that Cygames rakes in from Grand Blue Fantasy and their other intellectual properties, we'll get to see another core of this. And of course, the ending of this obviously sets up there is obviously going to be a continuation, whether it's going to be in the near future or a bit later, that remains to be seen. But yes, it is great. And we're also getting another episode, Extra 01. Now that kind of tells you that we're going to be getting a bit more out of Grand Blue Fantasy the animation, maybe a continuation, because you don't just put in extra. They usually do extra episode in the title, but this was Extra 01 Another Sky, followed Extra 01 followed by the title of what the episode is gonna be. So I have some high hopes that this is Cygames teasing us. There's obviously going to be more extra content, more and a continuation of the main storyline alongside some side story. And I do recognize the voice. If you guys haven't played the game of Grand Blue Fantasy, that voice that appeared at the end is the female protagonist. In the game you can switch between Gran or the female protagonist, Jita. I don't really know how to pronounce her name properly. I think the D is silent, but some people were speculating that it's an alternate story, or it could be some sort of side story and they're gonna blend her seamlessly in with the main storyline. So I don't know, we'll have to wait next week for that to be seen. But let's dive back into the episode in general. So yes, this concludes Grand Blue Fantasy's current running time, with the exception of the extra episode that's going to air next week. Really, I'm excited to see what possibilities that's gonna open it for us, what it's gonna reveal to us. But yeah, this episode really did highlight the animation capabilities of A1 Pictures. People like to hate on them for some reason. I have no problem with A1 Pictures. Maybe it's just some anime that I've never watched that they messed up on or something. I have no idea. The animated Fate Apocrypha, that thing looks good. But so far, Cygames, I'll talk a bit about the company of Cygames, is that basically throughout their entire thing, what they're going to be doing is that they're paying the animation, their contractors and their own employees a livable wage and all that, compared to, peanuts that regular animators in the anime industry usually make. All the money goes into the hands of the big wigs who really shouldn't be taking all that money in. But it's Japan, they have some issues they have to work out, and the CEO of Cygames wants to try and take the first step and try to make things a bit more, kind of like video game makers make over over the world, having a living wage, being paid the amount. If you're gonna make a AAA game, you kind of want to be, and you're a part of it, you kind of want to be paid bigger. So that's that. And this episode really shows how much the budget and quality is for A1 Pictures for this. This is kind of more of a examination of the company, but anymore, but than a review. But I'll get to that. Let's just end this session with Cygames trying to take a new step, and they're revolutionary. A lot of this is hand drawn instead of computer drawn. You can kind of tell from the animation style. It looks beautiful. They're able to do this with just hand drawn. Imagine if a lot of budget would put into being both hand drawn and using a computer to help assist. That would be pretty amazing. I think Ufotable is all computer drawn, so it's kind of interesting to see someone trying to step up to Ufotable's level. But anyways, back to the episode. We get introduced to a lot of different plot points. Obviously, the new characters introduced here, I recognize most, if not all of them, from the game. I do believe I have some of the characters on my account as playable characters. That's interesting. I was really hyped seeing them appear. Help Grand defend the city and try against Leviathan's rampage because of what the Empire done. It was well thought out. It kind of makes sense there are other adventurers besides Grand that come up and help the big city. There are OP people as well with special abilities. Of course, in a fantasy setting, it's expected to do that. I really do like how they really handed it off with Grand not being just overly overpowered. Sure, he and Lyria have some pretty cool powers together, extremely powerful abilities, but there are other people as well who are probably on the same or a bit more stronger than them in general. Some of the antics, like the lightning guy, it was just great. The effects for that were just great and so amazing and amazingly beautiful. We get some plot points of Eugene or Eugen. I don't really know how to say it. I think they say Eugen in the Japanese, in the dub. So not dub, like the language. So I'm going to be pronouncing it as Eugen. He reveals that he has a daughter. He had a daughter named Apollo, who went off and who was kind of saved by Leviathan when he lost her. Kept her alive and all that. And it's revealed that she is the Black Knight, and the girl with her is similar to Lyria. I mean, they kind of look the same, or my eyes could be failing me. They have similar abilities. She takes part of Leviathan's ability when Lyria takes it in. Interesting. And Eugene or Eugen's reason to join is that he wants to get back his daughter, so who is the Black Knight. So I'm really interested to see that there are plot points that they rest up. Of course, there's entire plot point of Gran going to find his dad in the Island of Astrals, and then we got the Eugen plot line of him getting back to Apollo, and there's the whole plot line of the Empire tracking them down. So there's like 3 or 4 different plot lines that are still completely unresolved. They could basically go out and make another season. There's plenty of content. They could even do like OVAs, I guess, for side events. It's just great. The content that's in the game is just, it could be easily translated into animation. I mean, it's mostly just text and still images, of character sprites and all that. But I really do think they could do a good job of all the different events. They could literally make bank off of it. I heard that they're including different in-game bonuses for people who buy the Blu-ray, so big fans of that are obviously going to be shelling out some big money for that, because Blu-rays are really expensive over in Japan. And the way they ended off was just great with a fancy celebration, seeing the Gran and the crew, and not just them, but the people, the different characters who show up, who are obviously going to be present in the future, if they, in the continuations, if they do decide to do it, which I really do hope they do. I really enjoyed it. The party and all that, it was really, really great. And yeah, we get everyone going off, everyone getting sent off by the city afterwards, and then bam, end of the episode. And there's that. We have the extra episode next week, but oh man, whew. I think this episode was half the review and half of me talking about the companies and the people behind the anime. I really do have a big deal of respect towards the people who do this and all that. So yeah, it kind of makes sense for me to go and address that, and that the quality was amazingly great. That's about it for all I have to say. I'm out of ideas of things to say about this, other than the fact that I'm really excited to see this go. We have the extra episode next week, so I'm really excited to see what that brings to the table, as I said before. But anyways, I'm raiyamo. Hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you all at. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Do you have any questions about the game or anything? I don't know if I'll be able to answer all of it. I'm barely in the beginning, but I have, do my daily logins, get those free gems, get those free items, do rolls and get SSRs. I'm that guy who just like barely plays, but like when I do play, it's like, oh, I pulled a new character, cool, and stuff like that. You can ask me some questions about the game, or you don't want to. You can talk to me about what the episode, what I liked about it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like. I'll go down and try to comment on all of that, or it's just some things in general about the episode. And yeah, that's about it. I'll be seeing y'all on the next video. raiyamo out. See y'all later. Bye.